So welcome everybody to another episode of Unsexed with me and Joseph.
How's it going?
So as you guys can tell, I'm pretty dressed down today because I didn't give a shit. And I don't want anybody to ever be apologetic. If you wake up one day and you just don't feel like it, don't do it. Don't do it. This is me like actually dressed up for my day, to be honest with you. Like, this is the most dressed up I've been all day. I went to work looking like a bag of shit today. And then I went to like my second job where like I bartend, and I walked in and like the server, she's Puerto Rican. It's like she has like no filter at all. And she was just like, "Mommy, what's up with your hair?" And I'm like, I didn't do it. I didn't feel like it. Just didn't feel like it. So thanks for coming relaxed and looking chill, because you could have been completely dressed up and I wouldn't have given a shit.
That's good.
Tacos have my heart. My heart belongs to tacos.
I like tacos.
So tell the people something about you.
Tell the people something about me. All right. My name is Joseph. Sergio's episode's already up, right? That wasn't deleted.
Sergio was here a couple weeks ago.
All right. Yep. So Sergio is my friend and co-host of our podcast, Open for Discussion, in which how we met Marcella here during a networking event. And she had also told us that she was doing a podcast too, and she asked us to come on, be a guest star for the first one, but kind of messed that up.
Somebody dropped the ball.
I wasn't feeling it that day, so I didn't show.
That's okay. I think that we had like a little like snippet of me like mildly but like super passive aggressively like chewing you out like, "Yo, I can't wait for you to come on the show, but don't you ever fucking be late again, okay?"
I was really hoping that one got deleted. No. That one didn't get deleted?
No, not at all. No,
somehow.
They definitely haven't.
That got saved?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it all got saved. Yeah,
that's good to know.
Classy, sassy, and a little smart assy. Like I was definitely being sassy with you that day.
A little bit. Yeah, but it's your right though.
Mm-hmm. So what you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
Honestly, just doing a lot of hustling with the podcast and stuff like that. It's a lot of work. We don't have as much production power behind the scenes as you do, so it's a lot.
My team's official.
Our team's official. It's quite the setup here. It's a little nerve-wracking. So it's a lot of me and him doing a lot of the work, but it's also cool too because we get a lot of hands-on. We get to learn the process and just kind of really make it a little bit more intimate to our needs.
Right.
And, hopefully it's the way we want. We want it to be very simplistic. We want to be able to just kind of just shoot it and possibly upload in the same day.
That's awesome. We don't have the ability to do that here just because they have the producers who are kind of just juggling so many different components of like a production company. So for me, like we might do it today and like next week, like I might get a snippet of it, but more times than not, I don't see any of this before it goes out on Thursdays. Like I see none of it. Like I might get a teaser the night before, but no, I don't ever see it. So we shoot. They might edit a little bit, but for the even stuff that I've been like before, can you delete that? Can we edit that out? They just no, they don't really grant me that. So I just kind of got to roll with it.
That's a lot of trust, but they make you look good though.
I appreciate that.
I've seen the other episodes. They do a good job editing.
No, I do. I love them. Shout out to Forward Content. Yeah. I love you guys, and thank you guys so much for all of your hard work and dedication. I miss the hell out of my producer.
That's
Chris. I miss you. I love you. But so we actually we lost power here, so we didn't even get to shoot yesterday, and we were gonna talk about and kind of unpack my weekend because I had a lot of fun and new experiences. So like for me, I can talk about things, but I feel like it's kind of like it's not really genuine if I haven't been through it and can't connect to it. So, we talk about all things that are, taboo, sexualized, freeing, intimate, all the above. So I had made plans with some friends who own some property at, it's not called a nudist colony, just putting it out there for the people. It is not a nudist colony. It is a naturalist community, is the appropriate way to word that. And so I went this past weekend and I stayed the night out there, and it was one hell of an experience. So the first thing that I feel like people should know is it is not a sexualized place. Like, I'm sure there are some out there, and like the people who were there told me like, yeah, there are some that are like that, but the one that I went to, I felt safer there knowing only 2 people out of hundreds that were there, I felt safer there than I would going out on the town or even out to a casino. I felt safer there. And if that doesn't speak volumes, like it was amazing. Amazing.
So that disclaimer you just threw out, are you saying there was no nude people?
Everybody was nude.
So it is a nudist.
It is nudist.
But
yes.
they're calling it natural.
It's a naturalist. So
Okay.
naturalist is the lifestyle.
Okay.
Yes, but is it everybody nude? Yeah, but it's varying degrees of nude.
Okay.
Did I partake in that? Absolutely. Like, not for nothing, but these are too many clothes for me. Like, when I came home the following day, my sister and my girlfriend came over, and as soon as I got to my house, I was like in my underwear, and I was like, you bitches are lucky I'm not fully naked. I'm only doing this for you, not for me, because I would be completely naked right now. It was the most freeing and liberating experience that I've ever had in my life. To literally be forced to look at people in their faces, because to sit here and to, you know, hone in on somebody's junk or even make lewd comments about what, like, you know, if somebody even approached me respectfully, you know, you have really nice breasts, you get thrown out for that.
Really?
Yeah, you do not comment on people's bodies. And that, it, to me, was like such an important aspect of the experience, was that it was not sexualized. So there was no looking, groping, touching, nobody hitting on me, making, you know, sexually inappropriate comments, none of that. If you even broached that kind of approach, you get thrown out. And it was gated, like literally electronic fences with cameras facing towards it. Like, you cannot get in here without being vetted by a member. And the membership process, that's a whole process. You have to have like 4 people sign off on you saying that like you're okay. You have to go through several different interviews for it. I had a background check done literally as soon as I got there. I had to park my car right at the front, walked in. You have to give them your ID. They run a full background check on you to make sure that, you know, you haven't done anything, you know, sexual crimes or anything like that. The people were amazing. So like I get to my friends to their campsite, and they had an RV, and the people next to them had an RV as well. Grill, like everybody out there has like outdoor showers. So every time I took a shower, I must have taken like 5 showers in a matter of 24 hours, but it was all outside. Like all the showers were outside. You're like one with nature. Like I literally got to take a shower in sunlight and in moonlight, like literally under the stars. Beautiful breeze, like it was just so grounding.
That is the complete opposite of how I pictured that. I thought that if you're like that free and you're out and open, that people would be more open to like comments about that type of stuff.
No,
I didn't know that's not how I pictured that.
They're huge on respect. So there are some communities that you can go to where you know, those kinds of things, I guess, are more accepted. But where I was, there were people of different colors, races, creeds, and ages. So one thing, I want to say that there were probably more elderly people, but again, like I said, like I'm not staring at Uncle John's wee-wee. Like I'm just like, yo, Uncle John's out here living his best life right now. Like, nothing better than literally getting up in the morning with your cup of coffee, which this is a real thing, people getting up with a cup of coffee and just walking outside and being completely naked. And there was nothing awkward about it. Like you almost felt more awkward being clothed than you did being nude. And what I really, really, really loved was there was absolutely no body shaming, not an ounce of it. To be honest with you, I don't think I saw anybody there with like a model-esque figure. There were so many different sizes and shapes and colors of different people that I was just like, this is so comfortable. You are no longer, you know, constrained by clothing or brands that say, you know, who you are and what you do and this is how much money you have. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. It was more or less like, are you a good person? And they, like, the vibes there are very, very strong. And I feel like when I was there, a lot of people definitely get down with like vibrations and frequencies, and they know like if you come off as a creep or like even, and that goes for males or females, they're gonna point you out, hunt you down, and kick you out. It was so comfortable, and then everyone was so genuinely just friendly and nice. Like you could just be walking around, and you know people are cooking, and they're just like, "Hey, you know, how are you?" And "Hey, why don't you guys come over for dinner?" Like everybody's got a fire going. Everybody wants you to go to their fire, and like you bring your own chair. and you always have a towel with you everywhere you go. So it's not like you're just sitting down naked anywhere and then getting up and the next person's, you know, sitting down naked where you were. Like, it was very, very clean and very hygienic. To get into the pool, the sauna, the jacuzzi, or the lake, nudity was required. So you cannot go in those places with clothing on. And like you have to shower like beforehand, dry off before you can get into any of those things. And it was just, it was hygienic, it was clean, the people were amazing, and I'm like, I can't wait to go back. I think I said several times while I was there, I was like, this is paradise. This place is paradise. You're literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, you're not, I think like the nearest like grocery store was like half hour away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, there was like just out of civilization, and you're just with like-minded people who are just like, I just want to be free and comfortable in my own skin. And then you even have people there, like people who have had, you know, mastectomies, double mastectomies, you know, might have lost a limb, something like that, you know, for medical reasons, whatever reason. And they were not ostracized, made to feel weird, made to feel awkward. The community was so accepting of anyone and everyone. It was like, do you come with a good vibe? And if you do, please come sit with us, have a beverage. And so there was this one lady in particular who had a blender, and she was just blending up these drinks like all the time. I had like 2 pina coladas, 2 orange creamsicles, and every time like I got halfway down, she's like, oh no, honey, have another one. Do you want another one? Do you want a refill? Like, here we go. And I'm just like, you are so sweet. And like, so they happen to be the neighbors of the friends that I had gone with. But just like super just hospitable, really kind people. It was such a vibe. It was such a vibe. And so for me, like, I highly encourage anybody who has an issue dealing with body image, with like a self-image, find a place like this where it's obviously like people are gonna vet for you and tell you like, okay, this is a comfortable space, this is where I go. And you know, for me, the biggest thing was it being a non-sexually charged environment. That was huge for me and feeling safe. But you know, a place like that was just, I think it's life-changing. And that's how I felt about it. I was like, this is life-changing. It's paradise. And then there's like no cell phone service out there either, really. So I was like, it's even better. Spotty service, so you can't be connected to the internet and all that. If you're walking around with a cell phone, people are definitely eyeballing you. So like, if I had my phone on me and I was going like this, I would absolutely get talked to. And have like several members approach me to be like, excuse me, what are you doing? Take a picture if you want to. Like, you'd be like, if somebody doesn't crack your shit and like kick you out. They're very, very serious about safety, security, and really making sure that it's like a family environment. And speaking of family, there were like definitely kids that were running around naked. Again, nothing about it was awkward. Literally just be one. Exactly how you were when you came out of the womb, be that. Be that. No clothing, no restrictions, no restraints. It was amazing.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I can't say that's something I would do myself, but I mean, I do have an appreciation for the way that dynamic works, in which you're taking away a lot of the clothing, the protection, like any form of status symbols off of a person, and then you're left with just you, who you are as a person, your character. So I mean, like, being in a position that is that vulnerable, it is something that I probably would like to experience, just to see people just for truly who they are. You take everything else outside the equation. I just probably wouldn't want to do it naked though, because I enjoy clothing.
So I mean, there were people like when it got chilly out, right? Because like last weekend it got chilly, especially like at night. I mean, like you throw on like a hoodie, you put on like your pants if you want to, but then like for breakfast the next day, like I had a sarong on and that was it. Like I'm out here eating bacon and eggs with my friends, just chatting it up, talking about life and different things that we've all been through. Like super awesome, just like ethereal conversation. But I'm just like, oh, well, my boobs are here and they're just out and nobody cares. Nobody cares. That was my biggest thing, was nobody cared. Nobody cared. And that was huge. I told them, I was like, I go out so often and it's like, I want to take you out to dinner, I want to take you out on a date, and I'm just like we already know where this is going. Like, and a lot of the times, to be honest with you, like maybe 85% of the time, I feel like it's not really genuine in wanting to get to know me. I'm like, dude, you just
it's just a pre-step to
you just want to know like what it's all about. And to me, that shit gets so old. So it was so nice to just be in that kind of element where I wasn't being hit on. I didn't feel preyed upon. That was the key for me, is I did not feel preyed upon at any moment. I called my best friend when I was on my way back, and she's like, so how did it go? You know, like, what did you think? You know, would you do it again? And I told her, pack your bags, bitch. Pack your bags. You're coming. You're coming. And not one of my girlfriends right now is 100% comfortable with their bodies. Not one of them. And for me, this was, I guess like really deep down, and it's kind of like clicking to me now. Like, I had on like this really cute like onesie jumper thing before I came on today, and I was like, I don't feel like fucking wearing this. I don't feel like wearing this. Like, I'm not even comfortable. Like, I want like looser clothing, and I just like want to like be like, I don't want to like these fucking clothes and all these decisions that I have to make. Well, does this go with this, and does this go with this? I was like, I came as I wanted to. And if I was there, this shit wouldn't even be an issue. I wouldn't even have to think about clothes. Just literally get up in the morning, go take a shower, brush your teeth, wash your face,
and just
grab your coffee and just roll out, like tits and dicks just hanging, and nobody cares. Because you don't have to wear it. You know what one problem I didn't have that you wouldn't have had?
What's that?
Worrying about the hell you were gonna wear and what you looked like. My hair looked like shit all weekend. I always have the eyebrows on. Don't ever get that fucked up. Y'all know I have my eyebrows on. But my hair, I didn't care. My clothes, didn't have any. They weren't there. Like, it was great. It was great. And then today I'm over here like, I have a fucking problem with clothes. God, I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go back and just not have to worry about this shit. So I was like, yeah, I'm coming as I am. But to me, like, that kind of goes back to the whole, like, basis of it all is, why should we have to worry about clothes? I can't tell you if I was around. I'm sure I was probably around people who are like millionaires, like high up there, high social statuses in the real world. Couldn't have pointed out not one of them to you when I was there. Couldn't have pointed out one. Couldn't have pointed out one. I'll tell you what, they were the most down-to-earth crowd on a large scale I've ever met.
I believe that. I definitely do believe that. It's, like I said, I mean, I get it. You take away all those status symbols and you're literally just left with another person on this big old planet, right? So, I mean, and nowadays with everything, especially with women and stuff like that, especially if you're a male and you pull up in like a hoopty car, you're not driving a brand new Audi or whatever it is and stuff like that, it's very easy for you to be looked over.
Right.
Some women just won't even give you the time of day, won't even look at you. Or vice versa. I mean, like, it's weird. It's weird, and I can't say that it's just women that do that. I mean, I'm the same way. Like, if I'm out in public and there's a girl out, she's wearing pajama pants or something like that, I'm probably not gonna look twice away. And it's not a matter of like me thinking she lacks in character. It's just part of my brain says, hey, if you're not even gonna take the effort to like put on some like jeans or whatever, it's clothing. She's covered. She's not naked. She did her part. She's
challenge you.
And she's out in public. But
I
part of my
challenge
brain
you to
still
come to a community like this and really see how much clothing really impacts the way in which we view people.
I'd imagine it does it a lot. I don't know if I can accept that challenge, but
I challenge you. You don't have to go with me, but I challenge you. I'm gonna take 4 or 5 of my girls, and we're gonna go and we're gonna stay a weekend up there. And like the girls.
This is up north?
It's in Connecticut, so I can tell you.
Really?
Yep, and I can't
Wow,
give
that's
away
surprising.
any locations
No,
or anything
you
like
don't
that.
have to. I was wondering if it was in, like, Maine or New Hampshire.
They really pride themselves on exclusivity and anonymity.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. It's like, and this is what I really did appreciate. Is I was kind of like, I mean, not to sound bougie because I'm not bougie. I'm deluxe. But it's like, you know, you gotta like know somebody who knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Is deluxe a step below or above bougie? To clarify. I've never heard that term before, so you gotta enlighten me.
I'm gonna let you sit and marinate on it. You figure it out.
All right.
You'll figure it out.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you coming on today. I had some pretty interesting questions that I had asked my Instagrammers today.
Okay.
Would you rather, and I can't even remember what it was, hold on, because the answers were so awesome and unique. So you guys know I don't give a shit. I'll just get right on my IG. I don't care. So I said, would you rather, and I want you to answer this, A, find your passion, or B, the love of your life?
Passion.
Why over the love of your life?
I think that if you find the love of your life, or you find someone that you love like dearly, but you lack passion, I mean, that person is going to become your passion. I don't think that's healthy. You can't just have a person be your only reason for existing on the planet. I think that's a very sad way to exist, and you're probably not going to be a very happy person.
But that's not what it
overall.
said.
So the question is, would you rather find your passion or the love of your life? If I find my passion, I found my reason for living. And then hopefully then at some point the love of my life would come along. But love is temporary most of the time. It can be unconditional, but a lot of the times it's for short periods of time. It's just the way that we're wired, unfortunately.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could always have a form of love for someone, but if you get the love of your life and you guys, everyone's gonna have their differences. There's always gonna be contention in relationships, right? But the issue is that a lot of people either A, find that the pros don't outweigh the cons, or B, they just give up.
So I think that there's a couple things about that. One, I think that temporary love, I think that's very much so generational. I think if you love someone, you love them, and you love them forever. Now, the way in which you love them, or the degree into which you love them, you know, I think that's not going to change ever. If I love you, I love you. Anybody, I mean, shit, I'd say it's for any of my exes. God, I love them all. I loved them all.
Even
Still love them all. I am not in love with them.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that we were not the best for each other. But my love never faltered or altered, I should say. You know, if I had an ex that called me right now and was like, you know, hey, Mars, I'm going through some things, you know, just need somebody to listen. Can I lean? Sure. Yeah, 100%. I can't tell you that that's going to like bring up anything for me to be like, yeah, let's get back together. But you know, if I loved you, you earned that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. When you said the love of your life, I'm assuming you're implying like your soulmate. You're going to be with this person to the end.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of the time it doesn't work that way. So if I had to choose personally, I would go with passion, because whatever my passion is, they will love that, and that could just remain my passion to the end.
That's fair.
That's what I would choose.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like I've definitely found not my passion, but my passion for life. I know what I'm really, really good at, and I'm definitely set on those things and cultivating and planting seeds to further grow those things that I know that I'm really, really good at and that I really, really love. And so let me stop really, because I want to make sure that people understand it's not necessarily what I'm good at, it's what I love and that I know I'm good at that I'm going to continue to get better at. And then so it's like I've already found the passion. So where the fuck is the love of my life?
Just to clarify, what are you passionate about?
Fuck is the love of my life. Helping people.
Helping people?
I do this show because I feel like it's somebody out there. I'm helping somebody. Right. And, you know, it may not be on this large, you know, magnetic scale, but, you know, it's already shown and proven that there are people that connect to the things that I say. Whether it be, you know, we talk about masturbation in different ages and ranges that, you know, people have, you know, discovered themselves and how to please and pleasure themselves. And there are some women that connect to that to be like, oh my God, well, I haven't had that since later in life. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, me either. But to me, it's all about connecting with people and educating people. So even as I sit here and I tell people, like, you know, this is what I did, this is where I went this past weekend, this was my experience. For me, it's about educating people to take away that stigma, because like you said, initially you thought that this was a place where people are just walking around naked and it's, you know, essentially it's like a super sexually charged atmosphere. And I'm like, no. And I think for, you know, the women out there who constantly feel like they're body shamed or like, you know, they're too thin and they can't gain the weight, or like they're too thick and they can't lose the weight, this is the place for you to go and feel 100% comfortable and really, really, really gain that confidence. So for me, it's literally helping people to have these realizations in life. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers, because I would never even imply that, but I know some things about some things, and I've had experiences that I think a lot of people haven't, and I'm still on this quest to learn more and experience more and bring that positivity and that light to the world. And that's my passion. You know, I worked in mental health, you know, for 7 years, and, you know, now I work with children still. And I love the work that I do because it's impactful. And so when we walked in here today, I was like, I look at that couch and I have this like sense of calm that comes over me. And it's like, I know that when I sit here, I can be me, 100% authentically me. I don't have to worry about, well, God, is Joseph gonna hate what I have to say? It's like, dude, you have an idea of who I am, you know I can say some crazy, outlandish, off-the-wall shit, but I also know that from the day that I met you, we were going to be able to have like awesome conversations, so I don't know, my passion is just helping people. That was like the long drawn-out version of it, but
that's good.
My passion is helping people.
I'm thinking that's kind of what mine is too. I mean, we'll see. That's what my goal is with the podcast that we're starting. Hopefully we get there. So for you, if you a few years from now, your outreach maybe got like 100,000 or 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And you helped potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, but you never found the love of your life. Or you found the love of your life, but this never takes off. Which one do you think you would regret more? Or regret the least, should I say, instead of listening to
regret either one.
You wouldn't regret either one?
No,
You think you would be
either
equally
one.
as happy if you found like your best friend that you could have for the rest of your life?
So I feel like, okay. That was loaded as fuck. So I feel like if I can't find the love of my life by like, I don't know, 40 maybe? I don't know. And I think that it's even unfair to myself to put any kind of time constraint on it. I'll say this, like, I know my biological clock is ticking. I don't have kids. I want kids. So I do have some male friends of mine who have always been just strictly male friends, and even some of my gay male friends who have offered up like their sperm to say, you know what, Marcia, if this is something that you want, and you don't necessarily need a man to do that. But to know me is to know, I truly do believe in the foundation of family. I want a husband before I have children, and I really do want that familial construct, and that's the basis of where I want to like start to build. I mean, nobody really calls me picky anymore. It used to be that I was picky, and then I feel like I got to a point in my life where I wasn't picky enough. And I think that was out of desperation because all my friends were having kids and I was in like this total panic, like, oh my God, like everybody's having kids and I'm like the last one and I'm like the late bloomer and what the hell? But then I look back on it and I'm like, well, I've kind of been a late bloomer like my whole life. I wasn't I wasn't Miss Gorgeous when I was in school. I wasn't popular, especially not in like middle school. I knew a lot of people, but I wasn't popular. When I got into high school, that's when the dynamics changed a little bit, but I didn't come into what I would deem to be like my beauty, myself, my own person until I was in like my 20s. I was not like the prettiest girl. I mean, still even now, like I'm still not the baddest chick, but I guess that's all in perspective because I mean, some men look at me and think I'm gorgeous. Other men look at me and be like, she's all right. And I'm like, well, either way, I love me. I think I'm pretty. Even right now, I'm sitting here in leggings and a taco shirt. Hair to the side. Like, I just like, whatever. Like, I'm still beautiful. Shit doesn't change. If you don't like the look today, well, then go back 3 episodes and maybe you'll like that one. You know what I mean? And if not, that's still okay. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you appreciating me, appreciating it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm fine with it. It doesn't matter. I would love to experience love, and I think I've only really had that where I loved and had that love reciprocated back to me once in my life. So to get that back, and not that person, but that level of reciprocated love, and then also taking into account all the lessons that I've learned from then till now. I mean, yeah, that's something that I definitely shoot for, but I'm not like actively going out here like, are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? No.
Can I ask you what your version of reciprocated love is? Because I mean, something I learned recently is, I mean, there's different types of love languages, right? So with me, in the past, with one of my longest relationships, she always felt like I didn't feel the same way about her. She was the type of person that was constantly giving little gifts, little tokens of appreciation, just little thoughtful things. I'm not that type of person. I don't like receiving gifts. I'm not a person that thinks about gifts. The way that I see love is being honest, very open, respectful, loyal. That's how I interpret love, and that's how I give love, is by being very understanding, being attentive in that regard, and that's my love language. So I don't, and I'm also a very physical person. So I mean, I like to, you know, hug, cuddle, whatever.
Yeah, so you're more like physical touch.
Correct.
And quality time.
Correct. So like, personality is how I display my love. I'm not a person that goes out often, buys flowers and stuff like that. And that's the type of person that she was. But she was always under the impression that I didn't feel that way. Even though we were together for almost 5 years, she was under the impression that I didn't feel that way about her, despite me telling her otherwise. And I never understood why she didn't get that I did love her, because of, in my mind, I'm doing all the things that shows that I love her. But to her, she wasn't seeing it. So when I asked, when you felt like it was only one time that it was reciprocated, my question is, how did you feel like it was reciprocated?
I was loved in the way in which I needed to be loved, and not the way in which somebody else wanted to receive love.
Elaborate.
So, perfect example, exactly what you just told me. She was giving gifts, small tokens of appreciation, I would say because that's how she wanted to be loved. So you two both knew your own love languages, but didn't know each other's love languages. So, I mean, I can know that you're speaking in Mandarin all day long. And I can keep talking to you in English, knowing you don't understand it. And I don't understand Mandarin. At what point do the both of us stop and say, hey, let me learn Mandarin so that I can communicate my feelings of love, and you learn English so that you can communicate your feelings of love. And I think it's the same thing with love languages. I can sit here and shower you with gifts all day, but if that's not how you receive love to really appreciate that, you're not going to value that as much as she did. And vice versa. You know, she would look at quality time and say, babe, I could see you 3 days a week and that's absolutely fine by me. Whereas you're like, I would like to see you like every day, every other day. And so she's showing up to your door with, you know, gifts, you know, whether it be like a watch, a new wallet, whatever, and you're like, I don't want this. I just wanted to spend time with you. Like, let's watch a movie, let's go grab a drink or something like that, and really take a walk and spend some time together. And I think that's where a lot of people clash, is that you are trying to love someone based off of your own love language, not understanding that that is not how they receive love. And I think a lot of people get that, you know, really kind of messed up. And so to me, it all boils down to communication. So I can tell you right now, I don't have a specific love language. I want to say that I'm needy. Some people may look at it like I'm needy. I really don't care, but I do. I like flowers on a Tuesday because they're a Tuesday. I want to lay on the couch and cuddle with you, especially if either one of us has had a bad day. Sometimes that's the best medicine, is just not having to talk about it and legit just having that time, that quality time and that touch. So for me, when I have a really bad day, there's nothing better than me being able to just lay down and be like, babe, can you just rub my hair? You rubbing my hair in that sense literally calms me all the way down, and just, it's that touch. It's that touch and that time. You telling me, okay, well, you know, babe, I know you had a bad day, but the day's over. I'm here, you're here, and this is all that matters right now. Words of affirmation, letting me know that you love me, that you care that I had a bad day, but that we don't have to perseverate on that, okay? To me, those are all huge things. And so I don't have like one particular love language that I think trumps the other. You know, if I'm having a shitty day at work and, you know, it's like a Monday and I'm about to get my ass handed to me, sending me flowers is everything. Well, first, like, I just love flowers anyway, and I feel like they are very much so underrated, because I believe in chivalry and like men doing things like that. But I'm also the woman. I've sent man flowers before, and gotten like this awesome response of like, "Nah, I never received flowers before," and I was like, "But why can't you enjoy flowers? I may not send you roses." I actually sent him like, it was like sunflowers, a couple red roses, but they were like masculine colors, you know what I mean? And this person just so happened to be going through like a really, really, really difficult time in his life, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna send you some flowers. It was very well received, just because it was totally out of the box, and you know, I was just thinking outside of the box and being creative. But I think that you have to learn someone's love language, and don't be offended if it's not yours. It's communication. I think that's what it really all boils down to, is communication.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. It was, I think a huge part of the issue is that we were just so young too. I mean, that was from when I was like 19 to 23. So it's just still figuring out who I am type of situation, where it's just like, I just could not figure out how to do it. And now when I reflect upon it and I see how I probably could have did things differently and shown that, I have zero regrets on the fact that I didn't, because I'm happy with the way things are going now.
Okay.
But I was just going more into detail about it because I was curious. I'm assuming you've been in multiple relationships in which love was probably been a factor.
Absolutely.
But I was just curious why that one stood apart from you from the rest. So is there anything in particular that he did that you felt like that was the one, or it's just something you can't explain?
There was just something about that man. He just knew how to speak my love language, whichever one I may have needed. And I don't want any man, who, wants to like approach me to say like, Mars, that's a really tall order. Like you have all 5 and I have to figure that shit out. Like, if that's how you feel, I'm not for you. And I'm not saying that it's a guessing game every day of, well, God, like, how do I need to love her today? Just be you. Just be you. And any which way in which you show me that love, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. These things are making me burp.
Yeah, that's why.
Like 3 times I'm over here, like trying not to burp on camera. This is so bad. But yeah, I don't know. I've had another relationship where I was showered with gifts, but he was really fucking mean. He was really mean. Like, he would get drunk and he was not a nice person. So, fuck your gifts. I don't need that. I don't need your gifts, nor your attitude or your negativity. Every time, we have a disagreement, you go to like just nasty words. I can't do that because it's potential for domestic violence there, and that's not who I am. That is not who I am. Yeah. I don't play that shit. So it was toxic. So I had to go. I had another one who quality time was a major factor for the two of us, and it was really good because when we did get together, the time was very well spent. But I never felt like there was enough time. So he lived here some days out of the week, and then the other days, like, he had to go out of town to go to stay at, he had like another apartment, and that's where he ran his business out of. So it was like a constant like back and forth. And like there were times where he would spend like, 7 to 10 days with me, and then he'd have to go back to take care of work for another like 3 to 4 days, and then he would come back and forth. And I never thought that cheating was a factor. I never felt like, I never ever got that vibe like, and I'm pretty good about that. They'd be like, you're a sack of shit. But I never felt like it was a cheating thing. It was just, when we were together, I just felt like sometimes there just wasn't enough time, or even like if he was there, he wasn't really present. So like you could be here with me in the house, but like, let's watch a movie together, or to feel like I was being ignored all day because you're working. But why couldn't you have done your work when I was at work during the day? Because now when I come home at night, like, I want to spend time with you, but no, now you decided to go, like, you decided to do your work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, knowing that that's when I was coming home. I'm only going to see you for 3 or 4 days, so can you spend some time with me? And I think that was a battle that we had. He was like, well, I'm here, and I'm like, you're not present. You may be physically here, but you're not present. You know what I mean? So, like, along the way, I've learned different things about what I do like, what I don't like, what I'm gonna tolerate, what I won't tolerate, what I need to be more relaxed about. So, like, him and I, we're friends now. And, I had contemplated, like, the possibility of maybe, like, trying to rekindle something. But he's even more busy now than he was before. And I'm just like, nope, I don't want to revisit those feelings that I had before of feeling like I was second best. I don't need to feel like I'm second best. Whereas this relationship that I was reflecting on earlier never made to feel that way. Never made to feel that way. And that man he was gone a lot. But when we were together, he was 100% present in the moment. And I was never made to feel like I was second best or like I was an afterthought.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, good. Because that was a whole long ass tangent I just went on.
No, I get it. It's good to clarify.
Sorry.
Was that the only question? The Instagram question?
Wait, no, I did. I had another one. Hold on. I'm gonna do the other one too. So the other one was, would you rather your partner be kinky or romantic?
Definitely kinky. Definitely kinky.
Kinky?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a kinky person myself, so.
Do you think that kink equates to romance?
I think you can combine the two. I don't think they're necessarily the same. You can be kinky and have zero romance involved.
But what if your kink is the way you express your romance?
What if your kink? That is true. Kinks are subjective. It doesn't. I was thinking kinky purely in like a sexual way.
Absolutely. 100. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like if your kink is bondage, that could be
it
a way
could
in
be
which
romantic
you connect.
between the two. Yeah. Like I said, I think they can coincide with each other.
But
I
you'd
don't.
rather have your girl be a little bit more.
I don't look at them
kink
as necessarily the same. Yeah. I don't.
What's one of your kinks?
What's one of my kinks? Are we saying just like as in the matter of attraction or like literally during
What's
sex?
one of your kinks? You going to bed tonight with the girl of your dreams. What is she doing for you, daddy?
I'm gonna have to think about this. I've done quite a bit.
No, you gotta, let's go. No, there's no thinking about it. You gotta go. What is one of your kinks? You don't have to share all, but you gotta tell me something.
Cause like I've done so much, a lot, that it's just like, it's all kind of normalized to me. I don't really look at them as kinks, to be honest with you, so. All right, to put me on the spot here. The tape. Where's the tape at? Wherever the tape was. I like these. I've done that a few times. I like the tape.
So you,
The tape
okay,
works.
so
That's
tape?
kink. Yeah.
Where are you putting it?
Hands, mouth.
Hands and mouth?
Yeah, hands and mouth, feet. I put all over the place.
Okay.
I get down.
Okay. So for me, like I
But
like.
I've done that so many times, it's not like a kink to me at this point. It's, like,
It's a bit of a kink, but
it
it's
is
bondage.
a kink. But
Bondage,
yeah,
bondage
so
is
like,
a
I mean, I
kink.
like bondage. I just don't really, a good majority of the women that I've, had sex with, a good majority of them wanted to do it. So it seems something it's either I'm picking those type of women, or it's just something that's a lot more normalized than said. I don't really view that as a kink. Unless you're getting like, what is it, 50 Shades of Grey? It's sex dungeon. I think that's pretty kinky. Like if you're getting like.
That shit is so dope.
Yeah, I haven't
That shit is
did,
so
like
dope.
I haven't gone that far.
So I was actually just recently told about this place that actually has like a whole dungeon, and I like want to go there and like see the dungeon. I want to see that.
I think my mic totally just fell off. How am I supposed to stick this in?
Just pull it out.
Just pull it out.
Just pull it out.
Can I leave it there?
Can you still hear it, Colin?
Yep.
Okay.
It sounds okay.
Wait, hold
All
on.
right.
Can you still hear him?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think it matters if we see it now at
Okay.
this point.
No, because you can see the tab. I want to see the tab. I don't want it to be. God damn it.
Let's just rock with it.
All right.
Let's
So.
rock with it. We're rocking tacos today.
So we are rocking tacos today because tacos are life. Even though it's Wednesday, it's fine. Taco Tuesday, Wednesday, I can eat tacos any day of the week. So yeah, the dungeon, like I really want to go there and see like what that's all about. But like 4-point restraints, I think that those are great, especially like when you're talking about like
That's
being romantic.
That's like hands and feet to the.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
just all wide open. So let me ask you though, hold on. Do you like to be
No.
tied?
No.
So you like doing the tying?
Yes.
Very much so dominant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I let
you like
the
it? I love it. It's
the
fun.
5 year relationship, almost 5 year.
Yep.
I let her handcuff me one time, and she tickled me.
See, now
Yeah,
to
she
me,
tickled
like
me.
that's
I
completely
remember
wrong.
our conversation about it, and
That's
you feel very
completely
strongly
fucking
against
wrong.
it.
That is
Yes.
so fucking wrong.
You're-
I would
yeah,
lose my
yeah,
shit,
you're very
scream bloody
passionate
murder,
against it.
and the cops would be there. And then, God forbid,
Yeah.
when I get out, I'm going straight to violence.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to violence. My father tickled the shit out of us when we were kids, and like I remember him like taking my foot, so like how you are right now, literally taking my foot, and I'm over here flopping around like a fucking fish out of water, like looked like I was having seizures because I'm so ticklish. So to do that to me, it's not fun, it's torture, and that shit is not cool. Like I would lose my fucking mind. Lose my mind. And when I get up, I'm resorting to violence. And then all of a sudden, I'm the crazy bitch. But I don't believe in that either, because when most guys say, well, she's fucking crazy, what did you do to her?
Well,
What did you do to her?
you guys been warned.
I-
Don't tickle myself.
Play with it if you want to, and you're gonna get charged with something, because on God, you will not. You will
First
not.
person in history charged with a tickling crime.
Nope. You touched me inappropriately. It went from consensual to non-consensual, and I promise my neighbors will absolutely vet for that. She sounded like she was having fun, and then she was screaming "stop" at the top of her lungs in a blood-curdling scream, and you could tell she wasn't having fun anymore. That shit is torture. I would never, like, you tickle me when I can fight for myself, or be like, oh my God, no, stop, don't do that, because tickling can be fun. But when you have when you're tied up, to me that like flips to like a whole different. So, for example, you take me to go get a pedicure. Okay. Any of my girls will tell you, we go to get a pedicure. Everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean everyone in the nail salon is laughing because I look like I'm having a seizure in my fucking chair, cracking up laughing. Like I'm hot, I'm sweating. Like it's fun having a bad day. Go get a pedicure. It's like the best thing in the world. But to be like tied up, no. So you have like rape is up here and sexual assault is up here. Tickling me while being restrained is right about here for me. Yeah, that shit ain't fun. That shit don't sound like fun to me at all. Like, fuck you. Run, hide. Yeah. Run and hide when it's done. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I do feel very strongly about that, and I'm sorry that she did that to you because I'm sure now every time that somebody wants to tie you up, you're like, nah, I'm good. This one bitch, she decided she was gonna, you know.
It's not that I'm offended by it. It's just not what I had. It's not what I had in mind. Kind of killed the vibe.
Little bitch.
But I mean, I'm not as opposed to tickling as you are. So. No, I don't like to be restrained. It's not my thing.
Hey, some people like it. Some people love it. Yeah. Some people are just like, it's not for me. Yeah.
I'm the latter.
And you go to Planned Parenthood or something like that, they ask you, what are you into? Last time I talked to the lady, she was like, you know, oral, vaginal, anal. I was like, oh no, honey, not the anal.
Wait, hold on. They ask you what you do during sex at Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, they like to know what kinds of things that you're into so that they know like what you might be at higher risk for. So different things, higher risk.
I always thought they just asked like, what is your, are you very like sexually active? And then they just deduce from there. I didn't know they got like specific with what you.
No, they get very wordy with their, like they get very, very specific. And not for nothing, but you know, I encourage people all the time, like, dude, know your sexual health, you know what you've got going on, you know your partners, wrap it up, be safe. But then there are certain things that like, for example, a lot of people don't know this, but like herpes, condoms will not protect you from herpes necessarily. It's skin to skin contact. You know what I mean? You get somebody who's got a cold sore on their mouth. They go down and they give you oral. Congratulations, you've got herpes.
You got HSV.
But then also 25% of the population has it and doesn't even know. So very, very interesting facts. I have a lot of friends who work in healthcare. Shout out to Planned Parenthood. We love you for what you guys do and providing all of these amazing services to people. For those of you who are offended by abortion, I really don't fucking care. That's not what I'm necessarily even talking about. It's just the access to the healthcare and the fact that you have these people who can go in, you know, whether you're insured, uninsured, you know, whatever. If you need any kind of education about health, especially sexual health, they're there for you. And I think that that's amazing. So shout out to them. Appreciate you. They're great. And then I don't know, that's how I feel about them. Yeah, you know, like there's this whole thing going on right now with the state of Texas. I actually had a guy DM me today. He was like, you should come see me in Dallas. I was like, I'm not really a big fan. I don't think I ever want to. Don't want to go. Don't want to go. I know it's like a super, super heated debate, and I like swear I probably wasn't ever going to talk about politics or religion on here, but I also think that some things just need to be said.
In that regard, I do agree with you. I'm a huge fan of Texas and a lot of stuff they do. When it comes to abortion, I don't really agree with their ideology there. I mean, that's their choice, regardless of whether or not they see it as wrong. I mean, the way I see it, if it is wrong, and if there is God, and if that's in his eyes, he sees it as wrong, they'll deal with it when they get there, type thing. Like, that's the way I see it. It's, especially as a man, I don't know what it's like to have a baby or to have to deal with the, you know, repercussions of aborting that on an emotional level. I never will understand, so it's just, I don't feel like it's my right to say what they can or can't do with their body. I mean, it's them, it's their kid. So that's just how I feel about it, but hey. But
I respect that.
When it comes to Texas, it seems like a pretty dope state, so
yeah.
I'm considering moving there, so.
I couldn't now, and
So, I can't. I mean that. But have they made like a declaration on? Did they like?
Oh yeah, it's a 100% law. Not only is it a law that you can't have an abortion past. So typically you can sense a baby's heartbeat in a professional medical setting at 6 weeks. The problem is that most women don't know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're taking that right away, and it doesn't matter like rape, incest, molestation. They don't care. If you are
Really?
7 weeks,
Those clauses
7
aren't
weeks.
even in there?
If I was, God forbid, was raped today in the state of Texas and found out 7 weeks from now I'm pregnant, I am not allowed to abort that child.
That's terrible. I
So
always thought that
what
they
kind of
left
monstrous
the
kind of
rape ones.
nightmare did you just create for women? So on top of that, if they go to get an abortion anywhere in the state, which obviously, you know, at this point is illegal because, you know, past those 6 weeks, you could be an Uber driver, a neighbor, a cousin, a parent. The state is giving people $5,000 to report these people who are going to get these abortions.
I'd imagine they're probably fining the doctors too then, huh?
You're finding
Probably
doctors who are
losing
going to
their
do this
license.
past 6 weeks, any kind of medical facility. You're finding the people who are doing this. So, you know, not only are you now, you know, pregnant and, you know, on a rampant search, you know, to find a facility who will abort that, which I think is entirely an individual choice. But now you also have to worry about somebody telling on you and, you know, what that's going to look like. So it's just a mess. And I'm just like, you know what, for any state who would willfully take away a woman's right to choose, I don't want to give you a penny of my money. I don't want to see you. I don't want to visit you. You know, before I am pro-life, pro-choice, pro-anything, I am all for, this is my body. Don't tell me what to fucking do with it.
I agree with that.
That's what I am. I'm pro, do not tell me. My Body, Myself. My Body, Myself. That was the name of it. It was the name of a book. And it was very impactful because it literally talks about, you know, protecting your body, knowing your body. And for so many of us girls, like, this was a book that was very real when we were kids. It was My Body, Myself. And it was a book that, like, encouraged us to just, you know, talk about our bodies and the changes that are going to happen and, you know, boundaries. And now you're telling me that even if I go to church every Sunday and I work and I pay my taxes and I have safe sex, and then all of a sudden I go out with some friends one night and when I'm getting out of my car to walk to my apartment, I get fucking raped. This man comes inside of me, ejaculates inside of me. And for the next several weeks, I am living in fucking turmoil because you can't always detect pregnancy right when it happens. Most times you can't. I can't terminate that.
Yeah, that's terrible. I always I thought that they left a clause in there saying, like, if it was incest or if it was pregnancy, but that's pretty bad. No, I definitely don't. 6
weeks and you're done.
Definitely, oof. Yep. No, I don't. Especially even with actually there are women politicians that say even under those circumstances, like if you were raped, that you still should have the kid because the kid didn't do nothing to you and stuff like that. But if they or you as a human being has never been, like, violated by another person like that, you
couldn't possibly fucking understand.
Correct. So I wouldn't say it's their place. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't say it's their place to say you should get over or you should be strong enough to live past. You just don't know.
Right. And this is my whole thing, is that you shouldn't have a right to tell me what I do. I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to do what's best for me. You should not have a right to tell me what I can and can't do. What's right and wrong. No. No.
I agree.
Nope.
No, I agree with that.
Nope. So I don't know. That's you know, I don't ever really touch those kinds of subjects here, but fuck it. It needs to be said. It needs to be addressed. That's where I stand. If I lose some followers, it's cool. If I gain some followers, welcome to the club. Welcome.
That's the way you do it.
So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, I'm still burping. I'm so sorry, guys. Excuse me. Shit.
Sorry, it's a taco day.
It is. I'm so glad it wasn't a taco day. I'd be like over here burping beef in your face. It'd be disgusting. Like, that's not. No, it's not unsexed. Sorry. I appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you?
I appreciate you having me. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. Am I missing anything? No, it looks like we're good. You can find us on all those platforms. It's called Open for Discussion, spelled F-O-R, like no other form of spelling. As of the moment, or maybe in the future we might change it, but That's what we're called, Open for Discussion. And the first episode will be going online on Monday, whatever day
Monday
that is.
what?
I don't know the day.
Okay, well,
Monday is just a day
look
that
for
I
them.
picked. This Monday,
look for them.
coming up,
Look for them.
I'm sure this episode will be up by then. It'll be online by the time you guys see this.
Okay.
So,
I'm so excited. I
it.
can't wait to see what you guys got. I mean, you
Looking
guys
forward to
have
having you
awesome
on.
content, and I've had great conversations with both of you. So I really do look forward to it.
I look forward to it also.
All right. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of Unsexed. Keep it classy, sassy, and a little smart assy. And we'll see you guys next week.